Chris Borch dominated the 2010 Can-Am Grand National Cross Country Series in the same manner he dominated in 2009. He's looking for a three-peat in 2011. Does anyone have what it takes to knock him off? The season opener is next. Well, hello everyone, and welcome to a brand new season of Racer TV, and we're excited to get this 2011 Can-Am Grand National Cross Country Series underway. Bright sunny skies here as we enjoy Bike Week outside of Daytona, Florida. We're at the Westgate River Ranch for the Moose Racing River Ranch GNCC. The best off-road ATV pilots in the world ready to kick off their championship run, and what a battleground we have for them. This track offers some high-speed sandy trails and, of course, some mud bogging, because what would a race in Florida be without some swampland? 4x4 machines out on the track right now, but we're getting ready for our pro race. For more, let's go to Krista Shaw in the pits.
Adam, a lot of you top racers come down here to Florida during the winter months, not only for the warm weather, but to get a little practice in the sand. Do you think that gives you guys an advantage over guys who might not make it down here?
I wouldn't say it's so much of an advantage. Riding is a big part. It does play a really big role. But if you hit the gym and train a lot and stuff like that, the biggest part of Florida is, I think once you learn how to ride the sand whoops, you always remember. It's kind of like if you learn how to ride a bicycle, you never forget. So, and the biggest thing with down here, you have to be in shape. It's always hot. It's always brutal. And if you can just stay in shape, keep your back strong, keep your hands from blistering up, you usually end up pretty good down here.
Balance Racing's Taylor Kaiser came just short of a championship last year in 2010. But Taylor, I hear you've had your best off season yet. What exactly did it consist of?
Basically, I took a couple weeks off right at the end of the year, kind of regroup and do my thing, and then we went right back into testing, working on shocks, working on motors, working on bikes, just trying to get the bikes as good as we could possibly get them. We got them starting better, got them running better. Bikes are working awesome. I'm ready to go. Been working really hard, so I'm really looking forward to a good year. I'm tired of having the number 2, so hopefully we can go out and get a win today.
Consistency is key to winning a GNCC championship. Chris Borch, you definitely have it down pat. Seems like you go out there and dominate race after race. You've won the championship the last 2 years in a row. What have you learned from those experiences, and how will you apply that to your 2011 season?
Just pretty much pick up where I left off. I mean, keep winning. Been doing the same thing, same program, so everything's looking the same. Just been working real hard at it, and looking for another good year.
All right, thanks, Krista. I'm Jason Wygant up here. Going to be looking down to the racetrack and telling you who's who and what's what. There's Donnie Ackerman, now number 5 after a great, consistent year last year. Adam McGill goofing around as always, and here's the man they're all gunning for. Krista talked to him. Chris Borch seems as confident as ever. Chris Bithell finally had some good luck last year. There's Brian Wolf, who won our Pro-Am class last season, and now moving up to the XC1 Pro ranks. As a rookie, we'll see what Wolf has for these boys. Big thanks to our boy Billy Morris, who actually races bikes in this series, won his class, and then came right out and played the national anthem on his guitar, which means we're ready to go racing. And GNCC style, that means we turn off the engines and get ready to roar. Who's going to grab the first whole shot of the year? It looks like Brian Cook on the KTM. No, beating him to the stripe is Sloan Jackson. Privateer out of Indiana going to grab some money from motorsport.com, and now Cook able to wrestle the lead from him on the Far Racing Enterprises KTM. Now Cook had a decent but not spectacular transition to the KTM last year. Here he is leading them on the first lap this season, so maybe better things in store for the North Carolina native. Chris Borch up to second, then it's Jackson, and we see our first look at one of the Warner Can-Am machines. You got Bithell and McGill, they're going to be ones to watch. Borch playing conservative in the sand, and you pretty much have to, as we watch that rookie Brian Wolf right there hanging with the leaders. This track will sap your energy. You're just battling through the sand whoops. This section is relatively smooth. just trying not to get stuck in the mud. But most of this track will be rough and tumble. It'll sap your energy as Bithell and Wolf battle it out. The number 10, Johnny Gallagher, the 3 of McGill right there. McGill waving his hand, I'm not sure over what. And then there's Taylor Kaiser, last year's runner-up. All these riders are probably going to play conservative on lap 1. See this rough stuff here, these palmettos, these whoops? It's only going to get worse as the day goes on. And as McGill alluded to earlier, you've got to save your back, save your hands, save your energy for that push late in this race. We're just getting started. Stay with us. Welcome aboard. Big thanks to you for joining us. Jason Wygant giving you the call from this Moose Racing Westgate River Ranch Can-Am Grand National Cross Country event. What is Grand National Cross Country Racing? We'll take a look. Today we'll put the best ATV pilots in the world through the woods, through the roots, through the sand of Florida. We'll even give you a little view of what it's like to be on board. And then we'll re-rack it and run some dirt bikes a little later on this weekend. So something for everyone here. These are the best in the business. But if you've got a bike or an ATV, bring it out, come race with us. This is a sport for the everyman. You don't have to handle the big jumps. You've just got to be tough. And the toughest right now, Brian Cook out of North Carolina, leading the way. Chris Borich, your defending series champ, is second. But as we suspected, everyone just setting themselves up, feeling each other out, saving their energy. We raced for 2 hours on a track this rough. You've got to just stay in the hunt and then pour it on late. There's Brian Wolf, expecting big things out of Wolf this year, and he's actually got the lead as we get to the mud hole. Look at that. Cook on the right on the KTM has dropped to 3rd. That's how quickly things can change, especially when you get to these open sections and all this mud. See the 16 of Sloan Jackson on the red machine there, just doing his best to hang with these guys. Here we go, Brian Cook in the lead. What a mystery coming into this season. He's actually won 2 races overall in his career, coming from the 2nd row. He was a Pro-Am rider. That's the transition class to what we're seeing right now, XC1 Pro. But he has shown that on the right day, he can run with these guys. This year, he's going to start on the front row with them, and he's leading them around on the 2nd lap of the year. You talk about a fast learner. As Taylor Kaiser puts the hammer down, trying to keep with this group. See the relaxed composure of Wolf and Borich. Now McGill has gotten up to 3rd. Next is Cook, then McGill's teammate Bithell, and then Kaiser. And these guys have already made a breakaway, establishing themselves as the big hitters for 2011. But you have to be impressed with the rookie, Brian Wolf, who's leading them all around, including last year's overall series champ. Boy, he's not starting the year. Wait a minute, wait a minute. Wolf not able to get going. You stop in this section, be scored at the end of the lap. And this pit crew and our GNCC track crew has to push him out of there. So he must have a mechanical problem. Amazing. Didn't look like he was nursing it into the finish line. It looked like he was racing it on in. So that'll change the order. Give Borich the lead. But not for long. Adam McGill on the Warner Can-Am takes it over. And Borich on that Rockstar Yoshimura Suzuki right behind him. Taylor Kaiser looks good. There's Kaiser in 4th. Kaiser is a Florida native, and you've got to figure he's got some tricks up his sleeve, and he might use them later in the game. Again, as this track gets rougher, that's where we'll really see who has the pace. We don't know what hand everyone is showing yet. Bithell in 3rd, and look at how rough this is now. A big difference on lap 3 from what we had on the opening lap. And now we're getting into some lap traffic. These riders wise to get out of the way because McGill and Borich are coming in a hurry, getting some air, then back into the woods. Gotta like what Bithell is doing right now. He's keeping them in sight, but not getting dusted out, not taking any unnecessary risks. Borich using a new line. Look out! Adam McGill shooting some roost up at the Suzuki guys who were pointing out the lines for Borich. Kaiser trying to step up his pace and go after the top 3. Now, Bithell last year really struggled. He had some good races and some bad. He did earn the national number 4, but he had a couple of races. It seemed like he might have had them won, and he had bad luck at the end. And the 2 years previous to that were just absolutely terrible. So I wouldn't be surprised to see him played a little bit more conservatively than Borich and McGill, who are starting to bang off of each other up front. And look at Kaiser here in the number 4 spot. He has begun to close the gap as well. And this is what GNCC racing is known for. Tremendous racing, tremendous speed, but also a strategy game. You've got to factor in the pit stops. You've got to factor in who has the endurance and who can conserve on their equipment. 2 laps to go, Boric in the lead. But I have a feeling we're going to see a battle when we return. We got a battle on our hands. Adam McGill has taken the lead back from Chris Boric. Check out that DWT leaderboard at the moment. Taylor Kaiser, Chris Bithell, that top 4 lay a blanket over them. They are very close. They're basically as close as you would want to be. Any closer, you're going to get roosted, take on dust, take on mud. Now into the pits. McGill tops off the fuel, fresh set of Scott goggles. Will he maintain the lead? His teammate Bithell's in there with him. Boric gets in and out quickly. And McGill is just going to edge him in the corner. They're racing out of the pits. And then Bithell and Kaiser come through next. And now into the thick of lap traffic. We're into the nitty-gritty now. Look at Boric. He kicked up a faceful, easy for me to say, of dust himself just by bottoming out his front bumper in one of those whoops. So now you've got to deal with rougher track conditions, lap traffic, and there's got to be some fatigue going on. These guys have to realize that round 2 of this tour is coming up in Georgia in just a couple of days. And if you beat yourself up too much, specifically if you blister your hands too much riding through the sand, you'll be useless for round 2. And this is a 13-round series championship. So many things going through these guys' heads while they try to stay on top of the mud, while they try to stay out front of each other. Kaiser going after Boric. This is exciting. We'll be right back to this action in a moment. It's time to show you some highlights of our morning race. At 10 a.m. we launched the 4x4s, the utilities, the women's class, super seniors off the line. Here's Michael Swift grabbing the whole shot in the U2 class. That's utility unlimited. Combination of 4-wheel drive and 2-wheel drive machines in that division. Then we take our 4x4 classes. Take a wild guess how many wheel drive they have. The 990 of Zach Zakowski grabbing the whole shot in 4x4 open, making a statement. He ran hard for the championship last year, came up just short, but he's off and running strong in 2011. And the man from Wisconsin could be the man to beat in that division. Here is your women's class, and as we like to kid, this class is stacked. Kristen Atwell, your defending class champ, gets the whole shot. Got to deal with veteran contenders like her aunt, Angel Atwell. There's Tracy Checo, Lexi Coulter in there, and some newcomers, Kara Merritt, Cheyenne Shadron, and Shanna Bradshaw. They'll be duking it out all year. Here is Beasley leading the way overall, still out front in that U2 class. Zakowski goes wide. The man on the inside is Michael Swift, trying to take the lead. Swift, years and years of racing in the limited class, now moving up to open 4x4 this year. Checking in on the women's riders, and like we said, that class is going to be close. But back to Beasley in the wide open stuff, 800 plus cc and that Can-Am Renegade XCCR, and unbelievable what he's able to do. And his good buddy Swift, living up to his namesake, pulling away from the open 4x4 riders and leaving the rest of them to battle it out here in the mud. Great racing, Buchanan, Zakowski, Rick Checo, all in the hunt. Here's Buchanan, last year's champ in open 4x4. He would get close to Swift for a while. They battle it out through the palmettos, but when the checkered flag was about to fly, Swift, watch this, pushing the pace and taking a hard-earned overall win. Dave Simmons, second overall, wins the 50-plus class, and Beasley rounds out the top 3 and wins U2. We've been waiting for years to see what Michael Swift could do in the open 4x4 class. He has moved up, and he wins the overall, serving notice that he's going to be a contender all year long. And that's just ridiculous, taking a machine that big and that fast through rough terrain like this. As we go back to our XC1 class, no changes, still McGill leading Boric. You've got Kaiser and Bithell right there in contention. We did get a report, it was clutch problems for Brian Wolf, who was leading this thing at the end of lap 2 and had to go into the pits, but they did make a repair, and he's hoping to rally and just score some points, stay in the championship hunt. 1 lap to go, and McGill's still leading it. Kaiser up to 3rd, Bithell drops to 4th, and you're probably thinking McGill is in a good position to win this thing. He's out front, right? But this is where Chris Boric usually turns it up. It is a patented maneuver. He usually lets these guys battle him, And then when the white flag comes out, he turns it up and finds another gear. So the big question for 2011 is, can Kaiser, McGill, Bithell, and the rest match that? You know Boric is going to go full throttle here on this last lap. Do these guys finally have the speed, the tenacity, the endurance to hang with him? And lo and behold, Boric has taken over the lead, and Kaiser is going to be the one to run with him. Report is that McGill has gotten tangled up in a fence. Stay tuned. And speaking of Suzuki, their main man is out front. Chris Boric under fire from the Balance Racing Yamaha man, Taylor Kaiser. And third is Chris Bithell on his Warner Can-Am. Meanwhile, this guy, Adam McGill, was leading, got a little bit off track and got tangled in a fence, had to free himself from it, so he has not only lost the lead, but it looks like he has lost a shot at the podium. While Boric sets sail, we said before, the big question this year, can riders like Kaiser find that extra gear that Boric seems to have in the last lap? And I hate to say it, but at the moment it looks like they don't. They don't have it. Boric starting to pull away. He's putting the hammer down. Now remember, it's just round one, and a lot of riders choose not to go all the way to the wall in the opener because we're going to race upstate in Georgia just a few days from now, and if you really burn yourself out of this terrain, you'll be toast there, and you'd rather take a second in Florida and be strong in Georgia than throw the whole series away down here. Boric doesn't care. He is hammered down and headed to the finish. Kaiser won this race a few years ago. He is a Florida native, and a lot of people think that he has an advantage in this terrain, but over the years, he's kind of leveled out. He's just as strong in the mud, the hills, the hard pack, the rocks, stuff we're going to see throughout the majority of this season. I don't think he considers Florida a make or break race for him any longer, and that's a good thing because Boric has got these boys handled today. Oh, wait a minute! No, he doesn't! Boric comes to a stop. The machine has stalled. I don't know if Kaiser knows about this. He's battling his way through the palmetto bushes. He was just given an opportunity to get back in this race, but there's so little time left. Now, Boric dealing with lap traffic. Is something wrong with the machine? Was that just a random error? Or is something wrong with the Suzuki? He gives the high sign to his crew, and the fans are cheering him. He looks like he's fine to me. Chris Boric is going to start the 2011 championship campaign in patented Chris Boric fashion. A wheelie to celebrate, a last lap charge to get the lead, and Chris Boric is still the best in the business in ATV cross-country racing. Taylor Kaiser gave it a run. The number 2 is second. Again, he will not be happy about that, and expect him to try to extract some revenge when we go racing in Georgia. Solid run for Bithell to take third. Let's go down to the podium.
Chris Bithell with the third place today. Chris, did you expect this to be the outcome of your race today?
I don't know, I really wasn't sure. This is kind of a survival race, but I put the hammer down and I ended up on the podium. This is where I wanted to be, and then I really want to step it up after this, once we get into the dirt. And I put on a strong finish and a strong race today.
Check out your AMSOIL results. Couple of notables here. Wolf able to recover for 10th despite the clutch problems. Cook with a top 5. Let's go down to Taylor Kaiser.
All right, Taylor, it looked like it worked out pretty well for you here today. You got a decent start, but you made your way through up to second place. Tell us how it went.
Well, I got off to a mid-pack start. I was running in 9th on the first lap and had a couple of issues and ended up falling back quite a ways, but was able to make it towards the front of the pack, and I spent a lot of energy right out of the gate coming through. So Chris rode up front, rode a solid race, and had a bunch more energy than I did at the end, so he was able to pull away. He rode a good race, but glad to be up here in second. It's not a win, but we'll just have to regroup and go to Georgia.
And the up-and-comers of the XC2 class, Walker Fowler takes the win over Gabe Phillips and Eric Hoyland. They're the next generation. This generation stars on the podium.
All right, Chris Boric with the win today. Chris, you told me earlier you wanted to pick back up right where you left off last year, and that's exactly what you did.
Yeah, we did pretty good today. It was a rough track out there. Got a good start, was second off the start, and was just trying to take it easy. I knew the track was going to be rough, and track like this is really rough on clutches, so I tried to save it till the end and then stepped it up and was able to get away a little bit and have a comfortable lead.
We talked about the strategy as we looked through our Suzuki race recap, and that was a difference. Cook, see him leading early as Borge was playing conservatively. This man was able to get the lead. That's Brian Wolf in his first ever race in the XC1 class. But guess what? Ran into clutch problems while leading and had to hand the lead back over. Otherwise, it was the usual suspects up front with McGill, Borge, Kaiser, Bittel. They were the top 4 in the series last year. They're the top 4 in this one. Late in the race, not a shock. Borge turned it up, and that's exactly what he has done year after year to win all these races and win all these titles. He wants GNCC Championship number 3 in 2011. Can anyone stop him? Well, we'll be covering this series all year long to find out. For Krista Shaw, I'm Jason Wygant. Thanks for watching.